Libs of TikTok, one of our favorite accounts on Twitter, has video of a first grade teacher indoctrinating kids in kindergarten through second grade classrooms into transgenderism.
So something that's really cool and unique about who I am is that I am transgender. So we touched a little bit about that at the beginning of this week in the book that Miss Hammond read, but I'm going to give you my explanation about what it means to be transgender as well. So when babies are born, the doctor looks at them and they make a guess about whether the baby is a boy or a girl based on what they look like. And most of the time that guess is 100% correct. There are no issues whatsoever. But sometimes the doctor is wrong. The doctor makes an incorrect guess. When the doctor makes a correct guess, that's when a person is called cisgender. When a doctor's guess is wrong, that's when they are transgender. So I'm a man, but when I was a baby, the doctors told my parents I was a girl. And so my parents gave me a name that girls typically have and bought me clothes that girls typically wear. And until I was 18 years old, everyone thought I was a girl. And this was super, super uncomfortable for me because I knew that wasn't right.
This is all obviously abusive. This is very confusing for children. It's harming their education. This girl, I guess he's a woman. She's a woman. It's very confusing. She says, I was born a woman, but now I'm a man. Or I was born a man, but the doctors made their best guess and thought that I was a woman because I've got all the female body parts and I'm obviously a woman. So this woman is extremely confused and should not be allowed within 100 yards of children and should certainly not be teaching any children. The issue here is that nothing she said is true. She is spouting delusional madness. When you walk past derelicts on the street who are on drugs or who have all sorts of mental problems, and they're just spouting nonsense and they're talking to the air and they are talking to the multiple personalities floating around them that only they can see that you can't see, those people make more sense than this woman. It's just completely wrong. It's especially wrong to confuse little kids like this, especially over an issue that could have such horrible effects on them. They could end up mutilating themselves. They could end up not knowing their very basic identity and basic facts about the world. But it's just wrong. It's not making anyone happier. Do you think that that woman is stable, happy, ready to go? Okay, that's all I had to do was pump myself full of hormones and maybe undergo some mutilations, I don't know what, and now I'm really happy and well-adjusted. No, of course not. And I don't really believe any statistics that I read, but such that we have statistics, none of this stuff is working. The argument from the White House and from the Democrats right now is that gender-affirming counseling and drugs and healthcare is really helping these children deal with their stress and anxiety. It's not true. You look at any social scientific evidence, the numbers are getting worse. Since we began indulging this crap 5, 6, 7 years ago, the rates of suicide, depression, anxiety have gone up. They've especially gone up in kids. They've especially gone up in kids who consider themselves LGBT, LMNOP. So whatever we're doing, it's not working. It's having the opposite effect. And what are we doing? The strategy is affirm the delusions. And what is the consequence? I know that correlation is not necessarily causation, but I think there might be a link here. When we indulge delusion, when we live in fantasy world, everything gets worse. Nothing gets better. People are really struggling. So what's the answer? Let's try something different. Let's try maybe the opposite approach. And these people who are pushing these extraordinarily harmful and destructive and false ideologies, they need to be put away from the first grade classroom. They need to be put away from positions of influence. They need to get better, and they need to be brought into accord with reality. I'm not just focusing on this one issue of transgenderism, which is no longer can you even really call it a minor issue because it's exploding right now in the public square. It's catching on like a social contagion. I'm talking about so many other issues. People are getting more anxious, more stressed, more lonely, more miserable. And so whatever we're doing, we need to turn it around. Right now, go to altoira.com/Michael. You know we predict the future on this show. Well, we told you months ago, if you're investing in crypto, do it in a tax-advantaged way with Alto Crypto IRA. Well, I hope you took my advice on it then, because inflation is going through the roof. The value of our dollar is plummeting. If you haven't done it, it's not too late. Even if you're dabbling in crypto, don't just pay needless money to the government in taxes. Go do this in a tax-advantaged way. The best way to do that is Alto's Crypto IRA. Will save you the tax headache. You can trade all that you want. You can get started by investing with as little as $10, and there are no setup fees. There are 80 coins of it, more than 80 coins available, actually. We're talking Bitcoin, we're talking Ethereum, we're talking Cardano. Do you want some sushi swap with your Bitcoin? Well, you can do that, no problem. Alto IRA has you covered. Open an Alto Crypto IRA account with as little as $10. Go to altoira.com/Michael, ALTOIRA.com/MICHAEL. Start investing in cryptocurrency today. altoira.com/Michael. I'm glad you liked that clip. Now, I'm going to make it very simple. Ring that bell. Subscribe. Get the notifications. Check out the other videos. You can also get the audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play at The Michael Knowles Show. Leave a 5-star review. We'll see you next time.